welcome to the Checkpoint. This is U24 Television, the National Youth Development. This is a Tuesday. The Checkpoint is always here every Tuesday, 9 p.m. up to 10 p.m. My name is John Viana Yabare. I'm the host for this evening. And this evening, we are discussing law or politics, an analysis of the nomination process, party divisions, and current political environment. And with me, I have a panel of able members, and starting from my far left, I have Mutesasira Expedito. I should have said His Excellency Mutesasira Expedito. He is a lawyer and a guild president for the Law Development Center, Mbarara campus. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Next, I have Justine Patience Nachitende. She is an aspiring lawyer, and she's also a health worker, by the way. And we are very happy to have you this evening on the Checkpoint. You may greet our viewers.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for viewing, and we are waiting for your questions.
Thank you. Next, I have Yosia Maize. He is a lawyer, and this is his inaugural appearance on the Checkpoint. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. My name is Maize Yosia. Like Mr. Vian has introduced me, I'm a lawyer, and I represent the Common Man's Party. And I'm glad to be in this place.
Yeah.
And before I can go on, I want to congratulate in the legal fraternity, we have got a new DPP. I want to congratulate Mr. Lino Anguzu as the new DPP. I thank you.
Thank you very much. In fact, the Common Man's Party, start us off. Tell us whether nomination is a matter of law or is it a matter of politics?
Thank you, Mr. Vian. Nomination is a matter of law, and it is one of the basic principles of any election process. In any political environment, and what sets off the political vehicle, I may call it, is the nomination. Of course, there are other pre-election processes and but the nomination of the candidates is one of the basic principles of the election process. So nomination is a question of law, and it is provided for in the Parliamentary Elections Act, especially for members of parliament, and I think under Section 28. Yeah, under Section 28, it is provided for that nomination should be done and should be carried on. So it is a matter of law, and it is a necessity in the election process.
How is your candidate doing for Common Man's Party? The symbol of the party, you tell us why you have that symbol as a symbol for your party, and why should they, in any way voters choose you?
Thank you so much. The Common Man's Party, like the word goes, Common Man's Party. We are a party of the people. We are a party of everyone, the common people. Recently, I had a conversation with a saloon lady. I was in a certain saloon, and she was telling me how people call them the Omuntu wa wansi. Why not call them Omuntu wa bulijjo? So for us, we call them common people because they are not lowly. Like people want to call them, people want to call them lowly people. But for us, we say we are all common people, and our political party is for everyone because we are all human beings, and we are all common people. It is not for those who are in higher standards, in higher places, but a common man serving every person. So that's why we made our symbol the Orsania. Orsania, traditionally, it is supposed to be a place where people come together to share a meal. So we are in a system, we are in a government where the resources are not equally shared. So for us, what we are bringing on table is that we want every person, every region, every religion, every cultural institution to share on Darusania, so that we are all benefiting. And maybe to also clarify on that, is that when the food is done, is finished on one side, you can always rotate the Darusania, and even people the other side will get.
They benefit.
So yes, so that is what we are looking at. We want everyone to benefit in this country, in our government that is come 2026.
Thank you very much, Yosia. I want to go to Expedito, and especially he says nomination is a matter of law. Let's look at the integrity of the nomination process. How do you analyze the integrity of the nomination process? Do we have integrity that someone can trust the nomination process in the current setup, especially looking at how we have come to conclude the parliamentary nominations?
Thank you. I'm wondering why you're not starting with our sister. We normally have like to say that lady is first, and you're changing the narrative to bring her last. Good evening, our viewers. My name is Mutesasira Expedito. So many people have been complaining that we normally write Mutesasiro down on the screen. It is Mutesasira Expedito. First, I wanted to pick from where I started from, that nominations, it's a matter of both law and politics, because it is because of politics that we have leaders. You find that the Parliamentary Elections Act, the Electoral Commission, the Presidential, they all come in place to govern the politics. So I think it is both a matter of law and politics. It is a precursor to the elections. It is one of the stages, just like he said. But going straight to the question that you've just asked, integrity. Are you talking about Uganda specifically? Are you talking about nominations as, broadly in Africa? I wanted you to break it down.
That's why I've said specifically you refer to the concluded parliamentary nominations.
Personally, I would think, depending on the events that we've had in the different regions, this is my personal view, and I think I'm entitled to it to a certain extent. There has been some little integrity that we would want to commend the different parties for. First, we are seeing the police not as brutal as it has been in the previous elections. We are seeing the Electoral Commission trying to come up and speak about some of the events that are unfolding, good and bad. However, I think there is still, being an African, setup, there is still a lot that we need to do. First, when you say integrity, you cannot have integrity where you don't have independence. I personally hold a view that our Electoral Commission is not independent, given the way it is constituted. It is the president, the sitting president, that has to appoint the chairman and all the commissioners. So he has the power to appoint them at any time and to fire them at any time. So you don't expect, in the true sense of independence, you don't expect them to be independent. And there are some, of course, bad, should I call them bad, should I call them ugly, events that unfolded. Some of the candidates in the different parts, of course, not everywhere, were denied access to the nomination centers. and you know we are seeing this and nobody is coming out to maybe clarify that where someone is complaining that they did not nominate due to the security forces, you know, denying them access, we are investigating this and this matter, or we are giving them this day, or they can come to the Electoral Commission's headquarters in Kampala so that they nominate. We've seen places like, I don't know if it is comedy or reality, but I think it is a matter to investigate about. And if it is really that comedy, then the people that are involved, they should be put, you know, before the courts of law. In the Speaker's constituency, where a lady, a NUP member, a NUP flag bearer, came up and she was denied, she says she was denied access to the polling station. I think on the last day of nominations, she made a statement in her own voice that she's depressed, she's still going through a lot of, deep trauma because of what happened, what me and you don't know apart from her and maybe the people that caused that trauma. And just a day or two after, she comes out to say that, no, she's okay. Because of the reason that the speaker is her mother, so she did not stand against her. There is one Theodore Sechkubo, and any other, I think, member who is now standing independent. He is also complaining that they tried to stop him from nominating. And you know, these are questions. He says, if it wasn't for police, so there was a conflict between the police and some other forces. So he says if it wasn't the police, he wouldn't have nominated. So I think the Electoral Commission should come up, one, not just to wait for, you know, there is a tendency these days that our agencies, they want to wait for the complaints and then they react. Yet when you're occupying in your public office, you're supposed to investigate some of the matters, whatever you hear about. Because, you know, when this fracas, if at all it is fracas, keeps on rotating around, it checks on the transparency, the integrity of these agencies. And personally, I believe there should be something done. I don't know how, but the Electoral Commission should come up with a mechanism of addressing these, you know, conflicting ideas, conflicting information from the same people. I believe it cannot be a coincidence that we are having some positions, actually the big members of, you know, our leadership, they are unopposed. It is not a coincidence that you have the Prime Minister unopposed, and then the member who wanted to stand against her from, I think, NUP, is complaining that there was some dirty politics there for her not to nominate. You have the Speaker of Parliament, where someone comes up, complain that this and this happened. Of course, the ugly, you know, acts happened to her, and then the next day she tells you, no, I didn't nominate,
including
because
the
of this
that
and this.
There were others who were supposed to contest, and they alleged they were deleted from the register.
Yes, actually, you know, these events are, first of all, worrying and not a good example to the young ones. Because if you're occupying a position like that of the Speaker of Parliament, I'm sorry to talk about her, I wouldn't, but I'm talking about the facts. If you're occupying such a position and you even fear to freely contest, you know, it means you're not, you know, there is something wrong. Because I would expect that a person in such,
but is it the Speaker's role to check and ensure that those who want to contest against her are in the register?
No. You see, sometimes we, not that whatever appears blue is blue. Sometimes it is a light, a blue light, pushing light onto that object. You see, I wouldn't want to go so personal, but we wouldn't want to see Mr. Ebale contesting in the primaries. A certain person is kicked out, you know, then you come to nominate the people, the candidates who are ready and have been, you know, contesting against you. They are pushed out of the register, 2 of them from 2 different parties. Then someone who's, you know, how are they called? A substitute brought in to play, and then we hear stories of they were, whatever they said, the ugly story of, you know, their day. Then tomorrow they come and tell another story. I think it is really not correct, and there is something that we do not see, but we know there is something behind that.
Thank you very much, Mutesasira. I want to go to...
I also wanted to say this. We have 3 positions, I think, that I've read about. The Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, the Prime Minister not attacking these people, but it is not a coincidence that they are not... they're already now members of Parliament for the next term. I don't believe that.
Thank you very much. And Justin, do you agree with his submissions?
I agree to the submissions to a larger extent. And when you look at in some political, like those political parties that stood against the ruling parties, for example, you find that in some constituencies where the other parties, the opposition parties stood, you find that someone was coming up for a post, then they check their signatures and say they were invalid, they were what. So such things kind of draw or bring a question mark to us. And they bring us a question that is the EC really transparent in the way they are doing things or not? And also you find that it's the EC supposed to draw a roadmap for us for the campaign, for the, the nominations, the campaigns and everything. Yes. But you find that there are candidates missing nominations. And also you find that someone collects their signatures from people and they come and boom, they tell them that these are invalid signatures. Or someone brings up their documents, academic documents, and they tell them, no, these academic documents are not valid, so you should not stand. So since...
Am I allowed to give information on that?
Yes, please.
Just a minute.
No, information to, regarding documents. There is one case in Kakumiro where an advocate was denied nomination because of documents. And I'm wondering how someone can do Bachelor of Laws, then go to LDC, and they don't have Senior 6. You see? So that is the information I wanted to give.
Okay.
And then the other one is that you find that the EC communicated that political parties or people should not disrupt other meetings. For example, if I'm a NUP member of parliament, standing in, is aspiring for a certain post, and I'm standing in for a certain, and then another party comes in and disrupts my meeting with my voters, and nothing is done to save me from that disruption, I don't think the EC may be doing its work very well. And then the other one is that the EC is supposed to, how should I say, it's supposed to create, to show that it's independent, it's impartial. But you find that the EC is working with some bodies, okay, like the army, like some units in the army, and you find that they are against a certain aspiring political member. So all those that we are seeing, we are undermining them now. Like formerly the DF, the newly formed party, the Democratic Front, it talked about this. It said that they should not look at these things as small minor issues, but they should find a way of handling them so that they can reduce on these ongoing issues, the ongoing disruptions in the nominations and in the campaigns. And you also find that at some point our voters are losing their lives in some places. Like 2 days ago, 4 people were killed in Busia. I saw in Busia, it's called Bugwe, something like that, a sub-county, where a certain NRM aspiring member was doing their campaigns. So such issues should be, they should find a way of dealing with them. And they should tell also their voters that, you know what, yes, since you're new voters, you should not go against the NRM voters. Since you're NRM voters, you should not go against the NUP voters. Once that is done, we shall bring back our trust in the electoral commission.
Whose role is it to ensure that NUP does not attack NRM, NRM does not attack NUP, DF does not attack NUP?
Of course, there are penalties that are set. And in the beginning, what I believe the head of the EC communicated them to these political parties. And if any violates any of them, they can put the penalties to act. They can imprison these people causing this violence, and whatsoever they can deal with them to show an example to other people. And you find that even in 2016, there was a case of a ruling of the Supreme Court where you find that the EC was found doing like things like illegal nomination of candidates, reading out wrong results and what. It was a ruling, I think it was 2016. Yes, so such things are causing us not to trust the EC, and you'll find that people are not going to vote because of such things. They'll say, even if I don't go there, it's going to remain the same thing.
Thank you very much, Nachitende. I want to go to Yosia, but before, I want to let you know that we are streaming live on YouTube. You could go on YouTube and search U24 television and then watch live, but also send your comment through, and we'll be able to read that comment just in the show. We're also live on other social media handles, on X, on TikTok, and you can also find us on Facebook. Now, allow me go to Yosia, and I want to find out from him the rift and the defiance from various political parties. We have seen members defying party positions coming as independents. In Kabale, David Bahati, who is the chairperson of NRM, is contesting as an independent. We have people who have not got flags in NUP. They have run away. They are now either in the Democratic Front or they have joined your party, Common Man's Party. I don't know that is true. Others have come as independent. The same. In my constituency, we have members who have not got cards from different parties, and they have run to other parties just to secure a flag. Why do we have such politics, and what is your analysis in that way? Are we having gaps in the law to address such a situation?
First of all, I want you to know the type of country we are in. We are not in a country where everything is stable. We are in a country where we are showing off what political, I don't know how I can call it, I don't know the exact word, but we are in a political mess that it's no longer about the democracy, but it's about what you want to get. I was following the NRM primaries, and it was so sad how everything happened in the primaries. You would find voters, I don't know how I can explain that kind of situation that happened during the NRM primaries, but it was so sad, it was so absurd, and it was, I think it was a political, I don't know, but it wasn't good for our country. So people are changing from one party to another, from for example, like you have said, like the Honorable Bahati is an NRM chairperson, but is running as an independent. So this one, all this chaos and whatever, it shows you how our democracy has deteriorated. We have gone back to the ground, like there is no competency, there is no integrity in our democracy. And I agree, because you see right now we have very many independents in parliament. In the last election, you saw how many independents came in. You saw what happened to the Honorable Theodore Sechkubo in Rwemiaga. This is someone who is saying that someone I'm standing with is academically incompetent, but the Electoral Commission has not taken any step to verify what are these voters saying. But fortunately, I wanted to drive you back to the electoral process. You know, the electoral process starts with the voters registrars, the verification of voters and whatever. And by the time we get to the nomination period, there are a lot of things that happen pre-election processes that happen. So one of those things is that before someone is nominated, you're supposed to, as the Electoral Commission, I think 2 months, I think 60 days or 90 days before. I'm not quite sure of the days and what, but they're supposed to verify those academic documents. But you find at the end of that day, someone is bringing up an issue that someone does not have right paper academic qualifications, and it is the issue of the Electoral Commission. So taking you back is that when we go through all those processes, when you see the sham elections that happened in the NRM primaries, because you saw people taking up their complaints to the NRM Electoral Commission, but what came out? Nothing. No one knows whatever happened in that cocoon. I don't know how I can even call it, because they don't decide. They just take whatever that happens. So when such things happen, when such when such things happen, then people have nothing to do but to come as independents. And people changing political posts, for example, maybe I can talk about the NUP. You know, people think that it is all about what you have always showed to the public that you can do, but it is all about also competence. You cannot leave a competent person for someone who is not competent. I don't want to go deep into the NUP structures and whatever, because I also have a party that I represent.
And especially when you say competence, who is competent and who is not competent?
Yes, the act is clear, especially the Parliamentary Elections Act, that you're supposed to be a voter. I think Article 80 of the Constitution, 1, then Section 4 of the Parliamentary Elections Act, you're supposed to be a voter, you're supposed to be above 18, and you're supposed to have the academic qualifications. Yes, those are the qualifications. But what about competence? Yes, you know, we have 529 members of Parliament. Out of the 529, you will find that you know about 20. You will know about Honorable Semuju Uganda. You will know, of course, the Prime Minister. You will know about the Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi. You will know, because they have brought quality into the Parliament of Uganda. So that is what we mean when we talk about competence. So you will not, I know some members of Parliament who by the time they came in, everyone was cheering them up, but we have never had a single word. We have never had any bill they have tabled on the floor of Parliament. So I think that goes back to competence. So it is because of competence that people come up as independents, because someone believes they are competent. Someone, especially those that have now gone through the election period, like the Honorable Bat, like you said, someone maybe believes I've gotten the highest number of votes, but I was denied my right, and my party is a sham because they cannot rectify what has happened. So someone ends up coming as an independent because of the situations at hand.
Thank you very much, sir. And there I'm going to go to Tesasira. Just briefly on that, you'll give us your view, but also comment on the resurgence of political violence, because Patience brought it up about Busia and the people who died. What strategies can be adopted to avoid that? Of course, which are legal. Yes.
Thank you. Now, I think about the large numbers of independent members. It's one fact that it is a matter of law, But then we also have to, accept it within our hearts that as a country, our democracy is not deteriorating, as he said. Sometimes I get tempted to think that actually we're not democratic, that we're just growing democracy. Because, you see, one of the reasons that we are having these political parties is to grow democracy. But you find that the activities or the events that are happening in these political parties, say the election of flag bearers, some of them actually non-democratic at all. They have no any iota of democracy in them. You find that you can talk of any party. We heard of so many people die during the NRM primaries. We heard of so many rumors about the NUP flag bearers, selection, the vetting process. Of course, there is a story that I have to tell, but maybe that is for another day.
You could tell us, because we were also told that NUP was asking for money.
We've had so many stories from different political parties, only that he did not tell us how their system is, the Common Man's Party. I expected him to tell us where their flag bearers go when they are denied the flags.
Now, for us, we are a new party. We are actually, I think, now 2 months old.
So you have no members of
no, we have candidates,
babies.
and we have candidates because you see, there's one thing I want to enlighten the public about. As long as you're a registered voter,
isn't that my time that you're eating?
Just one clarification. As long as you're a registered voter, you are above 18 and you are academically qualified, you can stand as a member of parliament. So for us as the Common Man's Party, we have candidates. You know the one of Nakwa West.
That is the information that you're giving. If you're giving it to people that have not nominated, then it's like you're calling them for the next election.
Yes, but okay, no. There is a provision also, and I think is it section 15, that if you have a complaint, okay, unfortunately now maybe my people might not have a complaint right now, but for example now the incidents you're talking about, the one of Bukedia, the one of the Right Honorable Nabanja, that those ones can still bring up their complaint, because actually today evening I saw someone complaining to the Electoral Commission from Chitagwenda.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Now about the unlawlessness, the ugly activities that happen normally in our electoral processes, I think it is a matter of law. There is a gap in the law. Secondly, the agencies. You see, when we started this program, we talked about the independence of the commission. Normally, it is supposed to be the Electoral Commission in charge of the entire process. Deployment of the police officers, giving them directions on what to do, how to treat the candidates. Then also, I think there is something that we need to do as a country, the people. We are not politically up. I mean, if I come from a political party A, I cannot tolerate her if she's from political party B. Yet it should be a fight for minds, for heads, not flexing muscles. You find that instead of people tabling their manifestos, instead of them tabling what they have to do for the people, they are fighting. You are supposed to be here, you are not supposed to be here. Then going back to the Electoral Commission, it is the duty of the Electoral Commission to normally program to make a program for the candidates to ensure that if your CI is contesting against Mutesasira, they should not be in the same space on the same day at the same time. So you'll find that if you are contesting, Mr. Ayebal is maybe sent to a certain sub-county somewhere, and then I'm also in another sub-county. But due to, of course, the nature of our country, some people are more equal than others, some people are more powerful, so you find that somehow we shall have those clashes. But we need more education, more sensitization of the voters to tell them that these electoral processes come to enable us to have good leaders, known to, it's not a matter of death life or death. It's not a cutthroat competition like Professor Lumumba calls it. It's just a process that is meant to give us good leaders.
The president, while campaigning recently in the northern, I don't remember the exact district, he said, in fact, politics is a matter of life and death.
Yes.
Because if you vote bad leaders, it may lead to death.
So it is the context. And I wouldn't believe that whatever he says is right. He's also a human being, just like you and me. But even in the context he said it, I mean, he meant that when you elect bad leaders, you see, his context was an aftermath. But my context is that during this process, I shouldn't see you as an enemy just because we don't belong to the same political party. I shouldn't see you as a criminal just because we are not on the same idea. And I think the security agencies,
maybe can I give information to Mr. Mutesasila? The current president of Uganda, whom we are going to win in the coming election as the Common Man's Party, when he says something, he means it. When he says that it is a matter of death and life, he means it. Because to him, the presidency of this country or the elections of this country is a matter of life and death. Yes, and that's why I'm saying we should change the narrative. So while we are blaming the Electoral Commission, because the law is clear and the Electoral Commission knows what it is doing. So in my opinion, the violence and whatever is passed on by their leader. Is the one passing on that information that it is a matter of life and death.
You're going to conclude your submission in a minute, such as I go to Justin, because I want her to take us through the issue of the opposition strategy, what they are doing differently, whether, because he says they are going to win.
In a minute, my context was that it shouldn't be. Much as the other person says, and you also
but that is the environment that you have created.
That is my opinion, that it shouldn't be. That's why we call for independence of the Electoral Commission. I have a belief or an opinion that the Electoral Commission shouldn't be appointed by the president because he has an interest to protect. Of course, you'll appoint people that align with his ideology. I also believe that our security agencies, the police, the UPDF, and any other security agencies, they're not independent. They're not actually doing their constitutional mandate. Sometimes they appear too partisan. You find that, of course, with the invention of social media, you see clips people normally have a few moments later, caption, where you find that maybe police or the other entity is saying that you shouldn't do this, and then the ruling party does it, and police is there looking. Then sometimes we see the deployment of the army into elections, which is of course unconstitutional, because the laws talk about a police constable, not even a police officer.
Police officer, thank you.
A police constable. So I think we should work on, or the country needs to work on the law.
It's now different from the traditional democracy exercise. It's now different from the traditional democracy exercise whereby people go into and they choose who and what. So that protest vote has, yes, some of the members may say it's unfair, but somehow it has shown something in the party. And then when you go to the Democratic Front, in the middle of this year it was created. So they have different political ideologies that we may look at. So with their ideologies, we find that they are also talking about they're talking about the current nominations. They're saying that here and here there was this and this, and you find that some members that were first situated in the maybe ruling party or in the opposition parties, other opposition parties joining the Democratic Front. And then the other one is that for some political parties in areas where they don't have leaders, you find them supporting the other party because it has leaders there. And then you find agreements between some parties, like the way you see PFF and ANT, that agreement they had. So such will strengthen the opposition. And then the other one is that it should also work on the opposition, should also not be only against the government. Yes, you're against the government, you come and start, you say agenda, but when we put you there, what are you going to do? Draw clear plans of what you're going to do, than saying, yes, let him go, yes, we are going to put you there, and you're going to sleep. And you find that affected us in the previous elections. It was bandwagon effect, and people voted a certain number, a certain party. And trust me, in our villages where we come from, we have suffered. Kids are not going to school. Health services.
Where do you come from?
Where I come from Busiro South, by the way. So you find that in such areas we are affected highly. And you find that in the previous regimes, kids were getting scholarships, going to school, those who are not able to study. And also, you find that other parties are looking at things like human rights. They are looking at activism. They are promoting human rights, because in this election process, there are some human rights that are being stepped on. You find that people are being imprisoned, people are not brought in court. You find that someone is taken to police, they are detained for more than 48 hours. We call it habeas.
Habeas corpus.
Corpus, yes. They are detained for more than 48 hours. You find that people are taken to prison and we don't see them. Maybe they bring them and they say, the magistrate is not around. The what is not around. So they need to deal with such things. Okay? Yes.
Thank you very much. And the two gentlemen, I want them to comment on campaign strategies. We've seen, of course, nominations are done now, so it is time to look for those votes. Campaigns on barrios, campaigns in churches, campaigns in mosques, campaigns everywhere. How best can these nominated persons look for support without turning into public disruptions? And also, remember, we have electoral fences. What kind of electoral fences should we look at in this period? Because some people don't know that, in fact, one electoral fence like this can nullify the entire result of an election. So how best can people campaign without becoming what I may call a nuisance? Over to you, Sia.
Now, first of all, I've already said it, and I will say it again. Our political environment has deteriorated. It has gone down to the ground. It is not in the middle, it is not standing, but it has gone totally to the ground. That in this Uganda, if you don't have money, why you see people are not being nominated solely, it is because of the influence of money. You will know it that bribery, I think it is in the Parliamentary Act, the section like 87, it is one of the crimes that can nullify an election. But there is bribery everywhere, not only in the presidential candidates, not only in the parliamentary candidates, but as you go down until to the LC level. So if you don't have money in this country, it is very hard for you to win an election. And the strategy, what we can, and maybe one thing the Electoral Commission has helped us as Ugandans, as maybe as candidates, those who are standing.
On the offense of bribery, once you bring it to the attention of court, it should be able to nullify the election. But
in the case of Chiza Besigye, in the case of Amama Mbabazi, all those were brought out. What happened? So this, like he was saying, that the electoral commission is supposed to be independent. It is clear under Section 13 of the Electoral Commissions Act. It is very clear that the electoral commission is an independent body and it should do everything without anyone's interference. But you know, you all see what is happening in the country. people are favored to do whatever they wish to do. Other people are, you know what is happening. So the law is very clear and everything is clear. But what happens if the law is clear? What do we do as Ugandan? What does the government do for us? Okay. So I think that should be the question. But I want to thank the Electoral Commission. I don't know if that one will be upheld, but at least it has stopped these church fundraisings and what, because it had become a business during election period.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, time is not our best ally. Yes, Tesasela.
Yes,
Barriers.
Barriers. I think our laws are not really preventing any person from campaigning anywhere for as long as you're campaigning within your constituency. And after all, these are the people that will elect you. These are the people that you're going to lead. So wherever they are, personally, I would think it is okay for you to campaign whenever you find them. Only that sometimes you find that the police is using some of these excuses to say that this is now, this is the market, this is a town setting, people are working. But the same people that are working, actually sometimes you find that they leave their workplaces to run with these candidates. So literally it is not an issue. So if I find you on your barrier, for as long as you give me a microphone, do you want to mean that it is these political, the candidates that come and, with their speakers and so on, they are given to them by the people themselves?
A person
so
dies
I think it is okay.
because of failure to find medicine in hospital. A person dies because maybe the road was poor and he couldn't be rushed to a nearby hospital. You, the leaders, you're responsible for that, to ensure that service delivery is okay.
You're right.
But again, we are at the same barrier saying, I seek for your support.
Yes,
Aren't we being too much?
Maybe sometimes it is another leader who has left on job, and then it is someone who wants to come and pick up from there that tells them that, you see, Mr. Everly failed here, I think I can do better. So personally, I would be okay. Only that I think sometimes because of our interests, we want to, throw our noses into each and everything. Personally, I'm okay. For as long as you're not leaving your constituency to go into someone else's constituency and maybe fight with them.
Thank
so
you.
I think it is okay.
Thank you very much.
For the issue of the Electoral Commission, for as long as we don't, as a country, come up with a mechanism of having an independent Electoral Commission, for as long as we don't really cut down the powers of the sitting president, I hold the view that we shall never have a free and fair election in the sense of free and fair, and we shall never have a transparent, Electoral Commission. Because even if it were you, if your appointing authority has put you in a position and they have an interest, don't you think you have a duty to protect it for the sake of your job?
Thank you very much. Justin, have you watched the person contesting for Kampala Central MP? He's saying that Guafunamu. So if you have posters, take them and display them in your area. And when the election is done, please pull them down because you vote for him, Guafunamu. Do you think that's a strategy all contestants should adopt?
No, I don't think so. That looks like comedy, actually. Because you find that if he speaks like that when he's campaigning, now what if I find him in office? What will happen? So you need to use a language that will show that you are not a proud leader, but you are a dedicated leader to your duties. Because I've not even seen the president saying Guafunam. No.
Thank you very much. We have feedback which was coming through, but because of time, for example, you could see Aisha Nagai was watching. I see many of you are watching. Thank you very much. We've received your feedback and please keep it up. I'm going to get your last remarks and because we're already out of time and as we come to the end, I'll start with you, Yosia.
Fellow Ugandans, the election period is here and my humble request is that, like Mr. Ruzi always says, Guafunamu. Guafunamu, if you vote the Honorable Mubarak Munyagwa, the president of the Common Man's Party, as your president, Guagendo Kufunamu, and we shall all serve the Rusania and we shall all eat from the Rusania. Thank you very much. Thank you, viewers.
Well, thank you very much. That is the Rusania. We all want the Rusania. Over to you, Justin. Patience.
Yes, thank you very much. So for today, let us look at elections as a medium of transferring power, not a medium of violence, not a medium of bragging, not a medium of misusing government funds in the name of campaigns. If they give you money to go and construct a hospital somewhere or put beds somewhere in a hospital, please don't misuse it, because us in the health field, we are seeing death rates increasing. Why? Leaders are given money to do some things, then they put the money in campaigns, and boom, after the campaigns, they're the leaders there again. And when the government has sent, maybe it's the IGG to go and see what's happening, you used the money for campaigns. So use the available funds that were given so that we can have a smooth running so that our economy is not frustrated at the end of the day.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Mutesasira.
Yes, my brother talked about a political party and I forgot to come with mine. So I think we all ought to have talked about ours, but literally, allow me to tell our viewers, the Ugandans, that elections are just periodical. In just a little time they will be gone, and it is right and proper that we use this period not just to fight each other, but to select the best candidate, not based on whatever comment they do, not based on their political parties, not based on, but based on the ideas that they present to you. And I would think, someone told me that integrity means doing right even when no one is saying. So for those that have power today, I request that we don't misuse it. We don't misuse it to the extreme. Tomorrow you may be the one that does not have that power. And then those that do not have it, that are looking for it, please look for it in proper means. Look for it with respect of one another. Human rights should stand beyond or above all of other factors. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mutesasira. Thank you, our viewers. This has been The Checkpoint, which comes to you every Tuesday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. This evening, we are discussing law or politics, analyzing the recently concluded nominations, the politics of political parties, and the current trend of the political environment in the country. I had Yosia Mwije, who is a lawyer. I had Justin Patience Nachitende, who is an aspiring lawyer and also a health worker. I had His Excellency Mutesasira Expedito, who is a lawyer and the guild president of the Law Development Center, Barara Campus. And me, I'm John Viana Yebare. I was the host
Guild
for this
President,
evening.
Kampala Campus. You already forget
Yes,
that.
Guild President of Kampala Campus. Thank you very much. But we come to you every Tuesday, 9 p.m. 10 p.m. And coming up is U24 Cinema. See you next week and good night.